Hello everybody, my name is Gerald. I am a certified TEFL teacher. Welcome to my channel. My topic today is non-defining relative clauses. Non-defining clauses do not define a noun, but tell us additional information about a noun which has already been defined. Furthermore, these clauses are not essential and can be omitted from the sentence without affecting its sense. The clause is separated from the defined noun of the main verb by commas. Finally, the pronoun cannot be omitted. Non-defining clauses are more common in written rather than spoken English. Let us now have a look at the relative pronouns which are used in non-defining clauses. You will see that they are quite similar to the pronouns we saw in the defining clauses. But the big thing to notice is that we do not use that. Let us look at an example with who as the subject. The boy, who is very naughty, was running away down the street. Note the non-defining clause, who is very naughty. Note we use who as the subject of the clause and that the clause is separated from the defining clause by commas. Note also that the clause is placed after the noun, which is the subject of the main verb. If the non-defining clause is removed, the sentence still makes sense. We cannot use that here, as we would in a defining clause. See my previous video. In spoken English, the previous example would probably be said like this. The boy had stolen some apples and was running down the street. Note, no commas, no relative pronoun. Let us look at whom as the object. The boy went to visit his aunt, whom he adored, but was disappointed to find she was not at home. Note the relative pronoun whom cannot be omitted after the object. Note also whom is the correct form, although who is often used in spoken English. Let us now look at whom as the object of a preposition. Mr. Brown, from whom I bought the horse, needed more space for a new mare. Note it is possible to move the preposition to the end of the clause and to use who instead of whom. This is usually done in spoken English. Mr. Brown, who I bought the horse from, needed more space for a new mare. Let us now look at the possessive whose. The cat, whose kittens were now big enough to leave, went out to look for some food. In spoken English, this would probably be said, the cat's kittens were now big enough to leave, so she went to look for food. Note the use of the apostrophe and the omission of any relative pronoun. Let us now look at constructions with of whom or of which. These are used in constructions following all, few, both, most, several and some. Their sons, both of whom are working at the same factory, have received a pay rise. The trains, most of which were cancelled, had been affected by heavy snow. Note this type of construction can be used for both people and things. Both of the previous examples could be expressed less formally. Both their sons work at the same factory and have received a pay rise. Most of the trains that have been cancelled had been affected by snow. Now we will look at the use of non-defining clauses with things. For the subject which must be used, we cannot use that. The horse, which I bought from Mr. Brown, is doing very well. In speech, we would say the horse I bought from Mr. Brown is doing very well. For the object which is used again, we cannot use that. He gave me a copy of a book which he had written as a farewell gift. In speech, this might be said, he gave me a copy of a book he'd written as a farewell gift, or he gave me a farewell gift of a copy of a book he had written. Now we will look at the object of a preposition. The construction is preposition plus which. Although, in informal English, the preposition can be placed at the end of the clause. This horse, for which I paid £500, was a bargain. Informally, this would be expressed, the horse I paid £500 for was a bargain. Finally, let us look at the possessive. We use whose or of which. Whose is generally used for both animals and things. Of which may be used for things, but this is usually found only in very formal English. His car, whose paintwork was scratched, caused him great annoyance. His apple trees, of which he had many, were now all bearing fruit. That completes this presentation. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again. See you again soon. Goodbye.